Good evening, gamers. Welcome around the world to One More Game podcast, episode 45. It's the 18th of May, 2023. I'm your host, theStroke, and I'm here for the first time ever with the legend ButteredToast and Swiftmida. ButteredToast, why don't you go ahead and tell the people about yourself?
Wow, what an introduction.
All right, dude, shut up. All right, Swift, how's it going? Just kidding. Yeah. Just kidding. We had to get you. Welcome, dude. How's it feel to be on your... I guess you joined us for, what was it, the Game Awards?
Yeah, I was around there.
Awards, yeah.
I feel like I was definitely going to, I don't know. I've been around... we watched Game Awards, and we planned together. That's about it. I don't know. I've never really done podcasting stuff before. I feel like I talk too much.
Well, yeah, we'll put that to the test because that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about video games. Swift, how's it feel to have a new member aboard?
I like it. Can't wait till we get Unpickle Matt back and we can diversify a little bit with, 4 white guys. It's going to be great.
Nice. Nailing it. Diversity is key here at OMG Podcast, as is our listeners in the chat. Thank you for joining us live. Always awesome to have you guys. Feel free to throw out anything, get the people going, get the hype going, and we'll be sure to shout you out as we talk video games, which is what we do here at OMG Podcast. And glad ButteredToast is here to join us. Pickle Matt could not be here tonight doing the life stuff with kids and all that, so hopefully he's in here watching and drop us a line. All right, guys, with that being said, it's going to be a short episode this week because we got life to do, but let's jump right into the news for the week. All right, Toast. As a big Overwatch fan, I know you're probably pretty disappointed, but not surprised by the recent announcement. He's even wearing an Overwatch shirt.
I know. I'm so disappointed. Hey, this is 2016 Overwatch, all right?
All right. Make Overwatch great again, but
yeah. I'm pretty sure Orisa is the newest character on here if I was to look, but
nice.
I've had this shirt forever.
Well, Overwatch just announced in a tweet that the PvE hero mode has been canceled, it being a difficult choice, furthering the idea in my mind that Blizzard is a company that just over-promises and basically under-delivers everything, even outright canceling everything that we grow to know and love about their IPs. So we'll start off with Swift. How did this hit you?
Dude, I was so mad. I think Toast was the first person to tell me about it. And I was like, what? Like, literally, you can look back at multiple podcasts where I was like, this is what I'm looking forward to most. I don't care. Like, the PvP is great, but I want this. This sounds awesome. And yet, yeah, difficult decision. Oh, I'm sorry, Blizzard. Was it? You fucks.
Like, come totally on.
Well, you don't like Junkenstein's Revenge? Come on.
Dude, I'm not okay with that. Like, literally, why not just keep Overwatch 1 going? Nothing changed other than switching from 6 to 5 players and adding characters.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. It's really the only thing that had me holding on hope-wise for the game.
I'll never play it again.
I mean, I'll let you say it, but
you can hold me to that.
It seems like such a home run to make this PvE.
Overwatch is the most wasted IP in gaming. I've said it for like 2 years now. It has so much potential. It is so cool. So many awesome characters, and they always fuck it up. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
makes no sense to me. But
that company just can't do anything right. The only reason I'm like still on board with somewhat Blizzard is Diablo 4. I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, like, dear God.
Dude, but okay, so real question. At what point then do you say, like, forget it? Like, I'm not playing any more games from this developer. Are they just nickel and diming me? At what point do you just accept, like, hey, these guys are only in it to just sell me a battle pass and skins? Like, they don't care about the quality of their games anymore. And they're making money off the name Blizzard from, 10, 15 years of incredible gaming.
Yeah, it truly is starting to feel like that. I don't know if that point will ever get reached, just because how gamers are, at least for myself. I've never been as close as I am now after the Overwatch announcement. I was very close after the Heroes of the Storm just umbilical cord cut. So if Diablo 4 is a failure in any sort of way, that might be kind of it for me, because now we're talking Warcraft Reforged trash. World of Warcraft has been destroyed. Heroes of the Storm abandoned. Overwatch now basically abandoned. I'm just kind of like, what is this company come to? But I don't know.
What is going on here? Like it's just, it shows you the worst of big gaming. Like, Blizzard was so solid for so long. Like, Blizzard was like by the gamers for the gamers for so long. And like, you knew whenever anything Blizzard was coming out, you are getting quality. And now it's like, hey guys, $10 for the next
Battle
2
Pass.
months.
Battle Pass. Yeah. You like it?
Dude, not only that, the fact that they had a pre-order for $60 for Overwatch 2 because of the PvE, and I spent that money, and now they're not doing it.
But you got skins.
The rest of the game is free. Yeah, cool. I got skins. Thanks. Dude, I cannot believe it. It's unreal.
Well, let's move into some more news about this awesome company. Microsoft's acquisition has been approved by the EU. And in a recent report, the UK has been reported as stating that they desire not to create an upheaval within the industry, so they plan to readdress the decision to block. Now, the US FTC has not come to a decision yet, but they said they plan on suing for monopoly or whatever. I don't know. I thought this thing was dead, but we still continue to cover it. Looks like you may have an intruder there, Toast.
Yeah, my dog. Hang on.
I don't know. Are you sick of talking about this, Swift? Probably.
Yes. Yeah, I am.
All right. Well, as a gaming news podcast, we have to cover it. So,
Yeah.
that being said, what do you guys think might happen here? I mean, it was blocked by the EU, so I can't imagine, the UK. I can't imagine that they would try to do split operations within different parts of the world. That would get pretty weird.
I think that's why the UK is like being kind of amenable as far as, okay, maybe we'll reassess and see, because they can't be the one standout that's like no when everybody else in the world wants it, or not necessarily wants it but is okay with it.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah, man, I just don't understand how the company is going to split up. Like you were saying, I think it's got to be worldwide. Like I don't understand how it could operate in different pieces.
Yeah, the UK is a huge gaming market, so I don't know how that would work. Well, we'll just continue to bring it up every week and let you know. But let's move on. All right, guys. I know all three of us have been doing something to the effect of smears of the schmingdom. Might rhyme with that. 10 million copies in 3 days. Best-selling Zelda game ever. Deserved? Hot takes, go.
Man, it's an awesome game. I'm not disappointed. I didn't love Breath of the Wild. I did not love Breath of the Wild, and I told myself when I approached this game, I'm not going to play this like a normal Zelda. I'm going to play this game with my mind open and like just be explorative, I guess, in my approach to it. Just don't really have any plan. Just kind of go figure it out as you play. And it's been pretty fun, dude. It's been really fun. Like my primary complaint about Breath of the Wild was that I played it like a traditional Zelda, and not playing this game like a traditional Zelda has been really fun. Like my kid will be like, "What's that over there?" I'm like, "Let's go.
Let's go. ADHD.
Let's go.
Squirrel. Yeah. Let's go chase that frog that we just found. Oh, shoot. I need to go into this shrine. Oh, do you see that giant tower over there? We probably need to climb that thing. Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about more about it, but that's how I feel.
Dude, so Toast, where, like, without any spoilers, are you past the initial place?
No, we're not. No, we are not, man. We are like, I just kind of do whatever he tells me to. He's 5.
Yeah, I like that.
He's 5, so he's to the point where like he plays Smash Brothers really good. He plays Mario Kart really good, but when it comes to like a game like Zelda where you're like tracking like enemies and like making solutions to problems, he still kind of like relies on me for that. But I just let him kind of tell me what to do in the initial area so far, and it's been awesome.
That's really cool. I love that.
So it's been really fun.
I'm just mind blown that, okay, yeah, 10 million copies in 3 days, but like top selling Zelda of all time is crazy to me. I guess it makes sense because the Switch is so prolific nowadays. But wow, that's
not
a lot of
top selling. Don't oversell it. Fastest selling.
Sorry, not top selling, but yeah, fastest selling within 3 days. I mean, I'm thinking of so many titles that I would have thought would have been higher than that, like N64. But
I wonder if Breath of the Wild sales figures include. Well, it has to include the Wii U version because I bought the game on Wii U because I wasn't able to get a Switch originally.
Dude, I also think fastest selling, like, dude, 10 million copies in 3 days is crazy. But you think at N64, where people had to go to the store and buy things versus just buying it on, Nintendo store or whatever.
Is it really fair though? Is it really fair to compare like modern gaming though with gaming 20 years ago or Ocarina of Time ago? How long ago was Ocarina of Time? 1998?
I think it is because the PlayStation 2 was the highest selling console of all time.
What?
Yeah. And we got a first time chat. Sargine.
What's up, guys? Welcome. And you tell us, what do you think? What do you think the top selling Zelda of all time is there, Sargine?
You big Zelda fan, Sargine?
All right, guys. Let's congratulations, Tears of the Kingdom, 10 million copies in 3 days. We're going to continue to play it and let you know what we think about it, and we'll get more into that here shortly. All right, another bit of news. Grand Theft Auto 6, which I played the crap out of, number 5, maybe coming out next year in a news article that came out on IGN. The publisher Take-Two Interactive may have just teased that the release window for the next entry is next year. What do you guys think? You think that's too soon? Is it gonna? It's been in the works for quite a bit. When did 5 come out? 2012.
Holy crap! Has it been that long?
Yeah, I think 5 came out a long time ago.
Let me look. 2013, September 17th. I remember buying that game for my Xbox 360.
Yeah, it was. I think I bought it on the 360, and the 1 came out like very shortly after, and my parents got me a 1 for graduating the academy, and then I bought it again.
Oh, you bought it many times. It's been out for how long? Jeez.
Yeah,
Dude, I haven't played a GTA game, and I used to love those in high school. You know, just going on races through the streets, like fighting people, random people. That used to be my jam, but I don't know. I haven't played it in probably, I don't know, 8 years or so.
With the release of the online stuff, dude, the like it totally changed that game to the point of like Second Life, you know, where people are like, I don't know, man. I remember like following. I didn't play the game, and I remember following a story about like green aliens and blue aliens, and like they gave a skin away where people would put this green skin on and they form gangs in this alien suit. Like, you ever seen like Green Man, where it's like they wear like the full body green suit?
Oh yeah, Charlie Day and Always Sunny.
Dude, exactly. It looks like that, but they formed gangs between green and blue, and like they turned into these giant like gang wars with green and blue aliens, and they're just running around ruining the city.
At least you know who like is on your team.
Yeah.
Dude, I think maybe that's why I didn't play GTA 5 all that much, is because I never really got into the online portion of it.
Yeah, all I tried to do over and over again was jump the Air Force Base fence and steal the jet.
Yeah, exactly. You just had to go flying.
Although that story is really good. I did beat that game, and it's well deserved for all the awards it won. Pickle Matt in the chat says R1, R2, L1, L2, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. What was that? Infinite ammo? Can't remember. All right, there's Jay Thatcher, our buttered toast, just linked in the chat. The online alien green purple.
If you're interested in reading about this, you should read about it. It is funny how crazy people got with this thing.
Oh, all guns. That was the code. Nice. All right. Well, hopefully next year we'll have another game to talk about. Grand Theft Auto 6. Speaking of the next installments in long overdue series, Mortal Kombat has been announced as the next franchise reboot. Instead of Mortal Kombat 12, they're calling it Mortal Kombat 1. I don't know exactly what that means by reboot, but it would be really cool to see them just straight up remake the original game, but in a modern sense. When was the last time you guys played a fighting game, like, besides Smash Brothers?
I don't know, Tekken back in the day.
I played some Soul Calibur.
2013.
Fighting games.
Nice.
I also, when I saw this, I was like, I'm sorry, were they infiltrated by Xbox consoles? Because we're doing back to 1, and next is going to be 360, and then we're going to have a Roman numeral after that, or
it'll be Mortal Kombat 1 Series X.
Yeah, I was just like, well, like, why?
There's this fighting game we used to play on PlayStation called Bushido Blade. It was like super Japanese.
Oh, that was good. But
you could like chop people's limbs off, and then they could continue to fight. It was awesome.
That's like when you're a kid and you're like, oh, your arm's cut off, you got to use one hand. Oh, your leg's cut off, you got to hop around on one leg.
Or like Monty Python. It's merely a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. All right, guys. Well, that is the news for the week, and if you're excited about any of that, let us know. Reach out to us at OMG_podcastGG on Twitter or Instagram. You can also follow us there and share with us a picture on Instagram of your nerd setup, all the kind of cool nerdy stuff you got going on in your life, and that will get you entered in to win something very cool, which we'll announce and show here shortly in the next few weeks. All right, let's get into the games radar for the week. All right, ButteredToast, why don't you tell everyone about Inkbound?
Let's see. Looks like turn-based gameplay, online-only roguelike from the creators of a game called Monster Train. Never played this one.
All right, so this comes out, what are we talking here? May 22nd on PC. It's a turn-based roguelike, but the cool part is that the turn-based is not limited by grids or kind of shackling you into your normal kind of standard play that you would expect from a turn-based. It's very similar to Hades in the sense that you're picking different abilities, but the attacking and the combat is more like a MOBA where you aim your skill shots at the kind of stuff that you're fighting. So if that kind of makes sense.
Interesting.
I thought it was kind of cool. I might check it out just based on its little MOBA similarities. But here's a good example of kind of the combat here. So you can see he's kind of aiming his abilities. You're moving around without being, restricted to a certain spot, but he's avoiding strategically the attacks from other things. And it looks really cool. The art style is really cool. But Inkbound comes out here on the 22nd of May. Check it out on PC if that's your thing.
Looks like Hades and League of Legends had a baby.
Yeah, it really does. All right, Swift, what's up next?
We got Evil Wizard on the 25th. Game Pass and PC. Evil Wizard's a humor-filled action RPG that puts you in the shoes of a former final boss. So you have been defeated. So rise from defeat, rediscover long-lost powers, and fight to reclaim your castle from an army of so-called heroes. Dude, I looked at the trailer of this, and it looks... I don't know. I kind of was just like, meh.
Yeah, it has a pixelated art style. Very indie looking, kind of similar to the game we just covered, but it's more action RPG style, not roguelite, I don't think. But kind of reminds me of Cult of the Lamb a little bit.
Yeah.
With kind of humorous art style and things like that. But if you're into these sort of games, it looks like a decent one. There's not a whole lot of big name games coming out over the next week, so I thought I'd just bring you a few that caught the eye.
My favorite part of
cool.
the trailer was do this thing, do that thing, do this thing, pet the dog, and then it was right back to combat. And it was like, okay, I like dogs.
Yeah, why not? You like dogs? All right, I'll bring you the last one, guys. Coming out on May 25th on all platforms is The Lord of the Rings Gollum. It's a narratively focused adventure game that centers on Tolkien's Gollum character, that tricksy wixy dual personality character that eventually becomes Gollum. It's, from what I can tell, more of a just follow along with the story kind of thing, like a Telltale game. We all know the story, right? But now we get to see it from the perspective of Schmeagol and Gollum. The Gollum creature looks a little weird to me, just because we know what he looks. We just spent so much time staring at him on screen that kind of caught me off guard what he looks like. But looks a little more human / hobbits-like. But if you're a big Lord of the Rings fan, this might be a cool one to at least check out and see, what you think. May 25th.
Schizophrenia, the game.
Yeah.
I looked at this. The trailer is awesome. I like how I feel like most of it's going to be kind of sneaking around and spying on people and figuring out intel, which is cool. I feel like that plays true to the character. I also enjoyed you can buy the game, but also you can buy the Precious package, and it comes with like music and all kinds of other stuff.
My precious. Stupid. All right. Cool. One more thing I wanted to highlight, since we're Expanse fans over here, is the Telltale series of The Expanse is coming out, episode 1, on July 27th for PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox Series, all of them, and PC via the Epic Game Store. So if you're a big fan of The Expanse, you'll have a video game-based, narratively driven story that you can play, which I might check out because I love that series, and so does Swift.
Yeah. Oi, Belta Lotus.
Beltalota.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Who asked for this game, though? That's so nice. I think he's talking about the Gollum game, but
probably.
All right, guys, that is it. Those are the games that we wanted to highlight for you coming up here shortly. The good news is there's not a whole lot of big name ones, because you got a bunch of big name ones on your backlog that you need to catch up on. So get playing Tears of the Kingdom and dabble in these other ones if you get the chance, because there's some good indie games out there that you may miss, and that's our job to bring them to you. All right, guys. Not Pickle Matt. Either Swift or ButteredToast is going to leave the link in the chat, and I'll leave it for you in the description for the podcast for our Discord. We'd love you guys to join the Discord, game with some gamers with like interests, and you guys can join us every week as we chat before the podcast and during on our Twitch chat. You'll also find a channel in there called Sweet Pickles, where normally Pickle Matt will bring you all kinds of sweet gamer discounts, tech deals, stuff like that. This week, not a whole lot going on. I want to remind everyone, get on the Epic Game Store right now and go claim your copy of Death Stranding. It's for free right now. I know there's a bunch of different reviews about that game, but hell, it's free. You might as well grab it if you can, if you want.
Dude, I saw that was on there, and I was like, when it popped up on the Sweet Pickles channel, it said 1 person is reviewed. 0 of 1 people rate this as a good game, and I was like, well, I don't know that necessarily means it's a bad game, so I'm gonna get it. And I also downloaded Sims 4 because I used to love Sims, and that's free right now on Epic Game Pass too, or Epic Games.
Sweet. So check it out, guys. That's where our Discord and the Sweet Pickles channel is where you find all those cool deals. You can also find a deal for Swift Lifestyle's Reaction XL, which was inspired by yours truly, One More Game podcasters here. I know it's hard to read there, but it does have our name on it. You can get some gamer energy that doesn't leave you all jittery and whacked, and it tastes really good, and I take it all the time before I game. So use the code OMGPod10 and you'll get 10% off and free shipping. All right, gents, anything else to bring up before we jump into the major topic of the week?
No, sir.
Nope.
All right, let's do it. All right, this week we thought it'd be interesting to talk about games that we have never played that people would just be shocked and surprised by. So before we do that, I was trying to think of what inspired us to talk about this. I think ButteredToast was telling us that he had never... Oh, you had never played Skyrim.
Skyrim.
And so we were all just like, what? So let's talk about that right away. What's going on? You just never had... it's on literally everything. It's on my phone, I think.
Dude, it's not that I didn't have the time. It's just like the game is just never was one of those games where I was like, yep, I got to play that. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I got to play that game. Like I just never had... I don't know. I never bought it.
Did you ever play?
It's also quite an investment, that game is.
It is. You can't just hop in there.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I say like, hey, I haven't played that though, like I've been exposed to it. Like all these games, anything we're going to talk about today, it's like, yeah, I haven't played it, but I've been exposed to it. I've watched people play it. My friends have played it. We've talked about it.
Right.
So I feel like I know enough about it, I just know that I don't have the attention span for something like that. I don't know. It's
Dude,
a
I'm
lot.
kind of with you.
Meanwhile,
Skyrim,
you're
I
both
never.
playing Tears of the Kingdom, which is very, very similar.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, that's kind of why we got into it. Pickle Matt in the chat says you can play Skyrim on a box of cereal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true.
I've
all right,
seen a coffee cup. I've seen someone have like a coffee cup and it like heats up and it's like that initial scene where he's like in the horse buggy.
Yeah.
But it like fades in the same way.
So the question is for me now, have you played any of the Elder Scrolls games?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope, not a one.
So they just don't appeal to you.
Yeah, I've never played a one of those. Man, I like Fallout, never played Fallout either.
Wow. So Bethesda maybe just not your jam.
I don't know. The new Dooms are pretty sick.
Yeah, they are.
God, when you're angry, the new Dooms are wonderful.
just smashing skulls. Cool story about that.
Everything.
One of my animation classes I took, my instructor was the lead animator on Doom, and we were asking him like, how do you, because when you animate, you're supposed to find like video reference of things so you can compare it. Like the Disney animators brought in real Dalmatians when they made 101 Dalmatians. We're like, so where do you get your inspiration for like ripping a dude's skull apart through the jaw? He's like, well, there's a lot of imagination going on.
Like, supposedly.
Nice. Yeah.
So he says.
Meanwhile, serial killer caught. All right.
Cadavers are cheap these days.
All right. So no Skyrim for ButteredToast. All right, Swift. Why don't you hit us with your biggest, most surprising, never played game?
Dude, I don't know that I have any really surprising ones. I feel like we've talked about a few, and typically the biggest ones. So I essentially looked up because I don't know, in my mind I wanted to do like a little bit of research as far as like the biggest franchises that exist, right? And number one is like Mario. Number two is Pokemon, and I might have those backwards, whatever. I've obviously played those and we've talked about them, but there were some, like, I don't know, like Resident Evil was pretty high on the list of the top 50 most grossing franchises. Never played that. Guess why? Because I don't like scary effing games, right? I'm not going to put myself through that. Everybody could have guessed that I would have never played Resident Evil.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's stuff like that. It's Resident Evil, Last of Us are two like big ones that I don't know. I never played them.
I just remember when the GameCube was new and everyone was like, it's for kids. And then Nintendo was like, oh, yeah? Well, here's Resident Evil 4.
Boom.
And I was like, dang, I'm going to be cool like the Xbox and PlayStation kids. I want to be tough. So I bought Resident Evil 4. I remember being so scared, but I played that game the whole way through and it was awesome.
Yeah.
They just remade it recently.
Yeah, everyone says it's really good.
Dude, Resident Evil 4 it was very fun. It was very fun. I remember like
weren't the controls kind of whack?
Dude, it wasn't that it was whack. Once you got used to it, they were wonderful. I loved it.
Maybe the controller is just kind of whack.
Hey, don't be talking about the GameCube controller. You leave the GameCube controller out of this.
I still have blisters from Mario Party on my palm. Okay, that's class action lawsuits coming out. Anyways, okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I've never played Resident Evil games. I think I played maybe one I rented with a buddy way back in the day, and that was about it. All right. I'm going to put on probably my most surprising, but I think ButteredToast will freak out about this one, but I have never touched a Counter-Strike game of any kind.
You should be ashamed.
I've watched people play it. I act like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the game. Bomb planted, all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, it just never... I don't know what it is about the shooting style in that game. Something about the lack of, like... it feels to me like it's missing weight. Like the characters are kind of floaty. I don't know. But yeah, man, never played a Counter-Strike game.
CS is. I started playing CS on like 1.3 back when you had to like go download the game and then you had to download the. You had to buy Half-Life. Then when you had Half-Life, you had to go like. It wasn't even like sold by Valve at this point. It was just like some mod for the game that was free, and you just installed it, and then you could play Counter-Strike. But I remember watching my friend play it on like a birthday party when I was a little kid, and we played till like 6 a.m. And I remember being like, this is the greatest thing that I've ever played in my life. And then I played until like, man, I played that game from the time I was like 12 years old until I was like 18 every night from like the time I got home to school to like my mom knocking on my door at 1 o'clock in the morning, like go to bed. Like I was addicted to that game.
Crazy.
We have a buddy, the other three of us who you have not met, sadly, Shift, who was very good at Counter-Strike back in the day.
I bet our paths have crossed because we
Probably.
we played in a bunch of clans. We played a bunch of clans and we played like I think it was Cal O or Cal I or something. It was like this big league called Cal, and it was like a big deal to get invited to go play with these other nerds and nerd out on Counter-Strike.
I actually have played that game, but I only dabbled, so I can't truly say that I've never played it. But I was not. That's not the game for me. Speaking of which, did you ever play Valorant, Toast?
No, never played Valorant. Never.
It's
I dabbled.
Almost CS:GO, but
I dabbled.
Overwatch as well.
Dude, okay, so to be like completely fair to like my CS history here, I played Counter-Strike and then I stopped playing like right after Counter-Strike Condition 0 came out. So that was like maybe 2 or 3 years before Global Offensive came out. I never played Global Offensive heavily. I only played like the original Counter-Strike, like extremely heavily, beyond reason heavily.
Okay.
Like all Condition 0 was like a skin package and everybody was pissed. So then we all went back to 1.6 and then Global Offensive came out and then they started doing like like the original NFTs, skins and knives and all that crap and whatever, and that's when I just keep up with it, but I don't play it.
Yeah. I was always right there. It's not like I didn't play Half-Life, right? I played Half-Life ad nauseum. I even played like the multiplayer Half-Life 1, and for whatever reason, I never played.
All
so
right. I've got to add to my list. And you guys are this is shocking after what I've just told you.
No.
I've never played Half-Life or Half-Life 2.
What the hell?
Oh my gosh.
Never done it.
So you had to own Half-Life to play CS, and you never played Half-Life?
Oh,
I owned it, but I never played Half-Life. I only played Counter-Strike. Yeah.
That hurts. It hurts my soul.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Just it was so slow, because like I was playing Counter-Strike, and it was just like 8 versus 8 or 16 versus 16, all these crazy, all these crazy game modes, and it's like Half-Life's just like this dude talking and falling around, and then like the guard beats you with a stick, and you're like, what is this? I'm going back to Counter-Strike. This sucks. Like, I don't want to play this. This guy's told me to get in line. I don't want to get in line. I want to go shoot that guy.
Yeah, until a head crab jumps on your nugget and sucks your brain out.
Nice.
Pickle Matt says, I've never played StarCraft or World of Warcraft. StarCraft is pretty surprising.
StarCraft was super fun.
There's a lot of people who never played WoW.
Yeah. I'm one of them.
All right. So
StarCraft, I feel like StarCraft and the like Warcraft games were the like next tier of Age of Empires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it got kind of more futuristic, better graphics, better, I don't know, everything, essentially. Although I do love Age of Empires 2. That game still holds a place in my heart.
And they just remade that. It's really good.
Yeah.
Dude, how have they not come out with a World of StarCraft yet?
I have no idea how they haven't capitalized more on all of their IPs. A StarCraft first-person shooter would be the best-selling game of all time.
There was one in development for GameCube forever called StarCraft Ghost. Forever. It might have been third person.
Oh, either way.
Still.
A shooter.
Yeah.
It was one of those games where they're like, guys, pay attention because it's coming out soon. and you'd wait, and then you wouldn't hear anything, and then 6 months later they're like, we're still working on it, and then like 6 months later, guys, we don't know. 6 months later, we're coming back. So there was like a 4-year stretch where
Wait,
like
so
they
are you
get your
talking
hopes up and
about?
then no info.
Are you talking about Overwatch PvE or the cycle?
Yeah,
The
right?
cycle repeats.
Oh my
itself.
God, they have a history of this.
Yeah, wow. Weird.
Oh, we should have seen this coming. But anyways, I'm definitely getting Diablo 4 when it finally comes out, right, guys?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, right? Yeah, can't wait.
Take my money.
Cool. What else have I not played? I have never played, even though it looks actually very entertaining, Rocket League. I have no idea why.
Dude.
It's free, isn't it?
You really have never played a game of Rocket League?
Not a single match.
Have you played Lucio Ball?
I have played Lucio Ball.
Same thing.
Which, how is that not still a game mode?
I don't know, dude. They're waiting to figure out how to charge for it and give it to you for one season.
Oh, yeah. Battle
Dude,
Pass.
it's a great game with your kid. Rocket League is a great game to play with your kiddo.
Liam,
Rocket League is so fun.
I've watched Liam play it on his Switch, but for whatever reason, I just never have gotten around to it. I've wanted to play it, but I just haven't.
I recommend that one. That one is a super fun. We played that for a long while.
All right.
It's
Do any of
quick.
you have a old series, like a legendary series that you've never played that kind of has been around since the dawn of time?
I've got one.
All right.
Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my gosh. Dude, Toast, you're dying to us. This is unreal.
That little sound.
I
wish I had that sound right now.
I know.
Dude, what was the game? Okay, so I bought a PlayStation Portable like right when they came out, back before I like modded it to be a portable Super Nintendo when I was like in high school. But there was a Metal Gear Solid game that was like not Metal Gear Solid that came out. It wasn't like a standard action game. It was like a turn-based tactics Metal Gear Solid game. And I played that, but that was it. And I only played it because I was like the only good game on PlayStation Portable.
Dude, that's unreal. Metal Gear Solid used to be my jam. Metal Gear Solid 3 was outstanding.
Well, I'll say this. I've never played a Metroid game.
Ugh.
I have not either.
Oh God. Yep. I don't know how you haven't played those. They're awesome. Super Metroid was wait, hang on a minute. First person Metroid?
Any Metroid.
No
oh
Metroids.
My God.
The only time I haven't even played Samus in Smash Brothers.
Oh my God, dude. What's the Discord leave noise? Dude, like I'm gone. Like I'm out.
Yep. It hurts. Dude, but the good news is I have them all on this bad boy, and I'm going to play them soon when I finish Final Fantasy.
Dude, Fusion is so solid, and you can beat it in like, I don't know, 6 hours. 5.
Is that the N64 one?
No, there was no N64 Metroid. It was the Game Boy Advance. It was the one where like there's this thing that copies you. So there's like an actual evil Samus running around, and then there's like a weakened version of Samus trying to get through the space station and get your powers back up to kill this thing that's effectively as powerful as you are at your peak.
Dude, it's spoilers.
No, dude, it's like
that's
totally
a cool
obvious.
Concept though, because it's.
No, I'm kidding.
It gives you actual like nemesis to worry about.
It's scary too. Like it's Swifty'd hate it, but it's
okay. Well,
like,
you said scary. I'm out.
So how did you play?
Scary.
Toast, did you play Dread, the new one?
I did not. I played it like it was scary. My kid was still too small, and it's a Switch game, so it was still too scary for him. Where like I started playing it, and he would like not be cool with it. So we'd always just put on Mario Kart or something.
Yeah.
But I never got around to it.
I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah, I will definitely play that game at some point.
All right, I got to bring this one up because I know Swift has never played Fable, and it really hurts my heart because it's everything you love about video games. Swift.
I don't doubt it.
The minute you get off of this, I need you to go play Fable on Game Pass right now.
Dude,
well, we'll see.
Played that either.
I gotta wake up at 4:30 tomorrow morning. I don't know that I'm gonna be gaming tonight.
Oh my God, you guys that game is so good. At least the first one.
So what? Fable 4 is coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I think.
Is that the one? There's already 3.
There's 3, correct?
Okay. Maybe I'll just hop in on 4, see what it's about.
No.
No.
So
One has one of the biggest plot twists I've ever played in a video game.
correct me if
Okay.
I'm wrong, but wasn't this game originally marketed as like a do anything, world adapts to you craziness? So the game was originally, from my memory of the Fable, was the game was marketed as this thing, and what came out was not the thing.
All right, so the big marketing scheme was you choose your own path, aka you can be evil or good, is all it really boiled down to, and it always was one or the other option. So it wasn't really do exactly as you want kind of thing. But those things had consequences, which was kind of cool, and the story would be a little bit different based on the choices that you made, which was kind of rare for games back then, but nothing groundbreaking now. But back then it was. But it definitely turned some people away because it wasn't everything you do influences the world. Yeah, no shit,
Dude,
that's not going to work.
I actually, I was sitting on the couch earlier after I got home from work with Shannon. She was reading an article and said essentially that in development they were thinking about making Hogwarts Legacy you use an unforgivable curse or murder somebody, blah blah blah, do the wrong thing, that it would kind of differentiate the game. And she was like, I was like, yeah. And she was like, did you know that? And I was like, no, but I figured, because that's how essentially every other game is made. I think Hogwarts is like one of the only recent games where you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't change anything.
Nobody says word. You just kill a student and everyone's
you're
like,
just like the most evil person ever, and everyone was just like, hey, good to see you.
I'll
want
see
to
you
plant
at
some
the Quidditch.
plants?
See you at potions class.
Welcome to herbology. Like,
you've killed more people than Voldemort, but welcome to the class.
Yeah, exactly. So that was kind of weird in my mind. So I'm glad to see that even back in the day, Fable was doing the right thing as far as making you make a choice.
Where you like walk into a town and people scream and run off and shit.
There's some cool stuff in there. Yeah, it's kind of like in Skyrim, you could murder a whole town and like run away from the guards and then come back and pay like a $90 fine and you'd be fine.
Here's $90. Sorry about that back there.
Yeah. A lot of mistakes were made back there. Yeah. But this will fix it.
This round's on me. Sorry, boys.
Sorry, I was drunk. My bad. Actually, there is a hilarious quest in Skyrim where you wake up from a night of debauchery and you have to retrace your steps and figure out what you did with this other dude in the bar. It's pretty funny.
Yikes. Jeepers. What are we talking about?
All right.
How much did we drink here?
I think up until recently, Final Fantasy would have been on my list, but I've recently remedied that. What about anything else you guys want to highlight? Yeah,
I got 14 with me.
All right,
is that the one where they ride around in the car together?
No, that's 15.
Dude, I bought that game and I remember being like, what am I playing right now? This is so Japanese. They've got like crazy Japanese haircuts with driving in a cool car together.
Those games are the most Japanese games I've ever played. No.
I love it. But another game I haven't played ever is Mass Effect. Haven't ever touched that game.
All right. Okay. Oh, that reminds me of another one I've never played.
Yeah.
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age?
You guys play Dragon Age?
I don't know why I'm thinking Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest is great.
No, I've never played Dragon Age.
Okay. Well, we're all on the same boat there.
I think my last one is surprising. I don't know if it's as surprising as Metal Gear Solid, but
all right, shoot.
My last one is Dark Souls.
Have you played Elden Ring?
Dark Souls. Nope.
Oh, well, that's not super surprising because those games are stressful.
Dude, they also I feel like they also, and you listen to our early, like right when we were beginning the podcast, they have such a stigma about them that it's just like, some people are just like, no, I'm good. I don't want to deal with that.
I'm so not interested in just angrily gaming after being angry at my computer all day at work. Like I'm just so not
Didn't you
interested in
play
that.
Overwatch and COD and
Yeah, but I didn't get
But that's a
angry. Like I
different
just
kind of
sweated.
angry. I
Yeah, I
sweat.
just
yeah.
sweated. Like it was just trying really hard the whole time. Like it was, like shit, you lost, whatever. But I feel like if a computer beat me and it's something where like I forgot to roll right, I rolled left, and then like a single hitbox, like no, dude, I would be so pissed off. I would break my controller in half and never touch that game again.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I didn't break my controller in half, but I played Dark Souls 3
Mm-hmm.
for about an hour and kept dying to the first thing that like the first actual difficult thing that you encounter, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
nope, I'm done.
Yeah,
Dude, I've
that's
seen
why.
things where I've seen things where you put your hands into an inflatable object so that you can throw your controller. So like put your controller in the inflatable object, then put your hands in the inflatable object, and then you can game in it. So you can just throw your controller and it's just inflatable, it doesn't break anything.
Love that.
Someone just walks in the room.
Wow. Wham.
Uh,
That's what you get.
yeah, I mean, I never played any of them until Elden Ring.
Well, that's why that we were talking shit on the Dark Souls games, and Tractor Beam bought us the game, and we were both tried it, and we were in love for a long time.
Yeah. It just got us. The sense of achievement in those game, and at least that game, is unparalleled.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Swift, you got any more?
No, not anymore that people care about.
All right. Well, that about rounds it out. This is why I think Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and Switch Online and all those other subscription services with older game libraries are so cool, is because it gives you the opportunity to kind of play those series that you'd never played before. Like this little journey I'm on with Final Fantasy games is really fun. I'm having a great time because I can just play a little bit at a time, and all the little gaming things that I've heard through my whole life, like little stories or when characters die and all that kind of stuff, I'm starting to see pop up, and I never knew about it. So it's kind of cool to see that in a retroactive sense.
What's the goal? When are you going to call it? Like at what point? Because there's so many Final Fantasy games, dude. You could be doing this for like the next year and a half.
I'm going to go all the way through.
At least 7.
Well, everyone says you have to play 9. Apparently 9
9's
is
cool.
Insane.
8's kind of weird. 9's cool.
10 and 10-2 look cool. I think I'm probably going to stop at the MMO 14 I played, so I'll call that the bridge that I built. And
wasn't the MMO 11?
Well, they made it.
Wasn't 11 online only?
It was, but 14 is the modern MMO, I'll say.
Got it. Showing my age here.
Cool. All right, gents, let's get into real quick what we played this week, which I think everyone can guess what we played a lot of. All right, Swift, lead it off.
The one game that I played this week was Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice. Any anecdotes to bring up? Any funny interactions you ran into with weird stuff? I think these games are great for like random encounters that you died in a weird way or.
Dude, not really anything crazy. It took me a long time to get past the first part because I wasn't taking advantage of what I had available to me. So obviously no spoilers, but be creative in what you're doing and that will help. The one thing I will say is when I got to the second part of the, experience is I went to the first little temple there, and there's this thing that I was like, I feel like I should take that with me, but do I really need to? And I spent a solid 2 hours in this temple figuring out how to take this thing with me.
Only to realize, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. So
nice.
It's a really fun, like really weird, quirky game because of the powers, which is awesome. Like I really enjoy it. You just can't like, hello. you can't just really, I don't know. I guess you can just go about your business, but there's so many questions in my mind based on the powers. Like, what do I need to do here? Why did they give me these things if I am not supposed to use them right this second?
Yeah, it is
So
kind of it requires you to access a creativity that I'm not sure I really have, and so
dude, I most certainly do not have.
I might hit a wall in this game, but
yeah.
I still can't even imagine programming the fuse stuff, dude. Couldn't even begin to imagine how that works.
I don't,
it's something.
I don't understand, and I've seen a few memes online of like where it goes incredibly wrong, but it's
gonna
marvel.
Be such a solid meme game, dude. It's already so good. I'm trying to stay out of the Tears of the Kingdom subreddit, but some of the stuff I've seen is so funny.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I saw a dude build one of the NPCs into a box container and then roast him over a fire. I was like, wow, that's I don't know what happened to the character, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not what I've seen is not podcast friendly, but I'll tell you guys about it later. But it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's it for Swift. What about you, Toast? Did you get any gaming besides? Well, obviously you'll talk about Tears.
Yeah, I played Tears of the Kingdom like I was talking about earlier with my son. But man, pretty much every week you can guarantee that I play a couple games of Tetris 99. I am trying to win that game one time in my life, dude. I don't know if you guys have ever played that.
How do you win?
I have like 15 seconds. I've never gotten. It's a Tetris battle royale, dude.
You just have to survive.
Well, it's like you clear out lines, and as you clear out lines, you send it to other people, and you can target other people. So it's like you can target people that have badges, you can target people that are almost dead, you can target people that are targeting you, and when you clear lines, it sends them lines. So people target you, and it sends you lines as they clear lines. It's just this big giant back and forth, and it's hectic. Like I said, like I have like 15 seconds. I have never won. I'm going to win that game one day.
What is that on?
Switch.
Oh, okay. Because Shannon loves Tetris.
Dude, that reminds me. You guys need to watch the show or the movie Tetris.
Is it a movie or is it a show? It's on Apple Plus.
It's a movie, I think. Yeah, it is a movie. It's a documentary. Or no, it's not a documentary. It's a dramatic, historical, whatever.
Oh, I thought it was a show, but nice. No, I do want to watch it.
It's on Apple, and it's really good.
Nice.
Let's see. All right. What else? I played Poker Stars on Saturday night with some buddies. That was fun. Nice. It's not necessarily a game, but it's an online game. All right. Played some little tournaments.
You can play in VR.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
You can see if my avatar. Can you bluff with an avatar? Like, can you make tells with your avatar?
What about when it's so advanced, like it's just like a 3D map of like your body? It's kind of like I'm imagining like the memojis are on your iPhone, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's what I think PlayStation VR 2 has something like that, facial recognition.
So Poker Stars, you can't play for real money?
No, we just kind of like settle up, like play for like $10 amongst all of us. You know, it's just kind of like an irrelevant amount of money. We just kind of all just talk crap while we play. But it was pretty fun, man. I haven't played poker in a while.
But it's real. It's real money though, right?
Well, it's like they have this thing called home games. So like you set up like a group. Like if I wanted to host a home game with you two, everybody has a Poker Stars account. I create a home game and invite you to join my home game, and then I host the tournament. And awesome. So like I set up the rules and whatnot.
Like that. I used to play online poker constantly in college.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Thanks.
My roommate won $42,000.
Thanks, Chris Moneymaker, for making it popular.
Yeah. I wasted a good decade of my life on that game. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me see. I'm always playing when I have like a solid 15 to 30 minutes without kids, I'll always play Gunfight. I'm always Tetris 99 and Gunfight always. I love Gunfight.
Like
Even
Call
though the
of
game's
Duty
not good, I
Gunfight?
get it. Yeah,
Nice.
it is a super fun game mode. First to 6.
Yeah,
Love it.
I actually do think that's probably the best game mode they have.
Easily. And then I also played NHL. I play NHL 23 based on your recommendation after we talked about MLB the show.
Yeah, boy.
So we started playing NHL a little bit.
Nice.
Nice, dude.
With your son?
Yeah.
You introduce him to NHL Hits yet, or?
Dude, NHL Hits is so old. It looks awful. He wouldn't be interested at all.
Oh, dude, it's so fun though.
It is fun, but it's also like trying to convince him that NFL Blitz 2000's the alpha game, but he doesn't.
Also an alpha game.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with that.
He doesn't get it. He'll never get it.
No.
All right. Well,
That's
cool. I played. MLB The Show. Liam's new favorite player. Character. New favorite player is Shohei Ohtani because we did a home run derby and he murdered me with that guy, which is cool.
Who'd you play as?
I think I was Mike Trout. We both controlled 2. He was Adolis Garcia and Ohtani, and I was Mike Trout and Aaron Judge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ohtani dominated. So if you're going to play home run derby in the show, be Ohtani. Played some more Final Fantasy 3, some Wind Waker on my Steam Deck. And last but not least, so funny story, I saw this thing advertised to me on Amazon. This is the Tears of the Kingdom OLED. I didn't have the OLED Switch, so I took it as a chance to buy it. Totally assuming that it came with the game. Does not.
Womp, womp.
So that whole time I was telling you guys I was waiting to buy it or I was waiting for my copy to be delivered to me via this thing. I could have just been playing. So, yeah. Let's see. Tears of the Kingdom.
But you're playing now.
I am playing now. I played quite a bit.
That's all that matters.
I have the worst ADD with this game. I literally go from setting my mind to play the main storyline quest to getting distracted by a Auroch who needs you to help him find his friend to chasing down a new horse that I want to catch to seeing that there's a field on fire and then I'm going to jump on my glider and fly up into the sky and then all of a sudden see something else. So what's going to happen with this game, I'll just point it out, is what happened with Breath of the Wild. I got sidetracked for way too long, get bored, stop playing for a while, decide I need to beat the game, beat all the dungeons.
Can't get back into it.
And then I'll get bored again because I've had beat the dungeons and I'm trying to go to the castle to beat the bad guy, the big bad, and then I never play it again and never beat it.
Dude, the one complaint, not even complaint that I have about the game is you finish the whole first part, which takes a while, right? You're wandering around for a while, figuring out everything, and you end up with one extra heart. And so now I'm in the second part, and I can't even fight enemies because I'm just too weak. So it's like,
Cooking.
what do I do? Do I like
Cooking?
Cook?
Cook.
Gotta
You
be
gotta
said?
cook.
You gotta
Yeah,
cook.
I know, but even that, it's just like, dude.
Cooking gives you extra hearts.
Yeah, I know.
Get in the kitchen, dude. Get in that kitchen.
I guess that's what I got to do.
Yeah, my biggest complaint about the game so far is there's more dialogue in this game than ever in any Zelda game ever. The NPCs talk so much, and I'm trying to read it all, but there's a lot.
Is it like Golden Sun levels of talking, where it's a Game Boy Advance game and literally dialogue takes like 40 minutes?
No, okay, it's not that bad. But and you can always do the Zelda thing and press B and rush through it all, but
What's that? Get to the very end, press B, but then it starts over. And you're like, oh god.
Oh yeah, I hate that. The owl. I know the owl that you're talking about in Ocarina of Time. And he switches the choices.
Yeah.
On one of them.
You have to press up and then A.
Yep, that's terrible.
Dude, Ocarina of Time though, 3DS is the alpha version of that game. It is a crime that you cannot get that on Switch.
I know. Kind of sad. All right, guys. That'll about round it up for this episode of One More Game. Thanks for joining us in the chat. As always, Pickle Matt, sad you couldn't be here, but glad you could have joined us. And everyone congratulate ButteredToast. He made it through an episode with 0 glitches or technological issues. So Pickle Matt, you might be
wow.
might be riding the pine after this. But just kidding. We'll get 4 in here next time. All right, guys. We'll go around the room. One tip and trick for Zelda games. What do you got? Toast.
Man, which Zelda game are we talking about?
Any, just philosophy-wise.
Do you know my favorite Skyward Sword, and everybody hates it? So my only tip for Skyward Sword is give it a chance. Give Skyward Sword a chance. Give it a real chance. Dude, I'm telling you, it's such a terrible opinion, but Skyward Sword is so good. It's so good. I love it.
All right, Swift, what do you
got? I got dude, in the newest one, Tears of the Kingdom, the creativity required is immense, but you don't always have to be super creative. Just try things, and sometimes it works out. That's how I have kind of gone about it, and it's so far done me okay.
Yeah, along those lines, I've been able to do things that I don't think were the intended way of doing it, like bastardized creations that still worked kind of. So there's a space to explore the envelope in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
On that note, I will leave you with one tip. You're gonna be if you're an avid Zelda player, you're gonna be locked into thinking, especially if you've played a lot of Breath of the Wild, that if you see tall things, that the only way up them is to climb them. Just remember all of your abilities, please. Remember all of your abilities.
Yep, that's where I failed initially.
Remember all of your abilities.
Dude, all right. Spoiler.
All right, gents. Thanks for chatting with me tonight about video games, and thanks for joining us. If you want to catch us live, if you're listening on podcast, you can catch us every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/OMG Podcast. You can find our other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or omgpodcast.podbean.com, or anywhere else you might find podcasts. And with that, we'll leave you with one final thought. Just because you have to grow up doesn't mean you have to stop gaming. Game on, gamers, and we'll see you on the next episode of One More Game. Toast, Swift, see you, boys.
Bye.
Later.